Hope you're well. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to explain why planning will not get you to your goal. If you don't know who I am, my name is Gus, originally pronounced Guus, and over the past 2.5 years of doing online business, I've learned quite a few things, made 9k a month, so almost 10k twice in 3 months, and also traveled the world and done pretty much everything I wanted to do. That aside, today I'm going to explain why planning will not get you to your goal. To get quickly into it, let's say that your goal is to achieve 10k a month. You have to understand that your goal is nothing but an effect. It's nothing but a snapshot of the future. This means, for there to be an effect, there must be a cause. Really basic stuff. I would question you if you hadn't received this kind of information in primary school. Anyway, if we look at the law of cause and effect, basic example, if you eat a donut and you kind of get this sugar energy crash. I don't know why that was the first example that came to mind, but that aside. So for there to be an effect, there must be a cause. And if this is true, then to get to your goal, then you have to understand that all you have to do is put the causes in motion to create the effect you want. However, there's never just one cause to get to your goal. What this means is, the quick example I've put up is about football. So to score a goal, the team often passes between a number of players to get there. So let's say that this is the goalkeeper, the red versus the blue team, and the purple is the ball. Obviously, it has to be passed between these players in order to actually get to the destination of their goal. If everyone already knew what the passing lines were going to be, do you think that this team would score? For example, if Barcelona was playing Chelsea and everyone already knew how Barcelona was going to make the passes and score the goal, then obviously Chelsea would literally go in front of these passing lines and make sure that they don't happen. So this is the same with your goal. If the plan that you had to take in order to achieve your goal was already defined, and if you could already plan the way to your goal, then obviously it would be really easy to get there. But that's just not the case. So you have to understand that there's an infinite amount of causes that can happen for you to achieve your goal. Because there's never just one cause, so for that reason, there have to be an infinite amount of causes. Quick example, if you want to make 10k a month, you can win the lottery, literally. You can sign 10 high-ticket clients, 1,000 low-ticket clients. You can work high-ticket sales job. You can meet a girl whose parents are rich and give you 10k. You have to understand that the goal is all that matters. And I'm not saying that if you want to make 10k a month, you should go and work high-ticket sales job if that's not what you want to do. But we're going to get into a second how you can find your path. Or how you can find the most optimal path for you. That's a better way of saying it. Because you have to understand that nature always takes the path of least resistance. I'm sure that if you go to the gym or you do any kind of exercise, then you have experience with push-ups. And whenever someone does bad form, usually they explain the reason for that is because they take the path of least resistance. So they're not strong enough yet to complete the push-up, so they compensate so they can take the path of least resistance. Because otherwise it would take too much energy. That's the easiest example I can give you. Just the path of least this has to be path, by the way. The path of least resistance basically means the path of least energy expenditure. So if you want to achieve your goal, don't plan. Follow the most optimal path. If you understand what I've basically explained up until now, you can see that your goal was an effect. To create the effect, you must have a cause, but there's never just one cause. There's an infinite amount of causes. Nature always takes the path of the least resistance, so the path of the fastest causes, you could also say. So if you want to achieve your goal, don't plan, but just follow the most optimal path of cause and effect. And to follow the most optimal path, just focus on the end goal in the current step. I will explain shortly why. First, let's actually do that. Why not? So then, when you actually follow the most optimal path and focus on the end goal and current step, you spend as little energy as possible on the path itself, which you can never really predict anyway. So you have to understand that it's all about energy. It's an energy game. And if you just focus on the end goal and the current step, all your energy is putting towards literally getting there and knowing where you're headed. That's all you need to do. 2 examples. Mountain biking. I actually like to do this. So what I realized, and I was actually doing this week, is that whenever I focused too much on where I was headed, then I ended up being slower than if I would focus literally just on where I was going to go in the next 5 meters. So what I mean is, if I focused too short, if I literally focused where I was at, then I would not go forward, because otherwise you need to obviously look a bit ahead in order to not crash. It's the same with a car. If you drive a car and you look just straight down, you're obviously going to crash. You have to look a little bit ahead. But if you look too far ahead, then also you have a problem. So let's say that the finish was here, the start was here. And if I was continuously looking at the finish, or I was continuously looking at, for example, trying to see where I was going here, then when I start here, I'm going to probably crash as well because I'm looking at this direction. Hope that example was kind of clear. The same with business. So if you, for example, are focused on creating a product, but you haven't gotten any customers yet, then it doesn't make sense for you to do that. It's kind of like you're focusing on a step which has not yet happened. Or if you focus on like how you can retain your clients, then it doesn't make sense to do that if you don't have any clients. You're kind of focusing on a step which you haven't yet reached. You're focusing on a step in the flow of cause and effect which hasn't yet happened. You're not following the most optimal path. The most optimal path would be, if you don't have traffic, to just focus on traffic and the end goal. So if you want to make 10K a month, you don't have traffic, just focus on 10K a month in your mind and focus on getting traffic. That's it. Now, then you have to understand that as well, that the path reveals itself. So it's not the case that you plan and think about what you have to do beforehand. It's a case of you take action on the current step and you focus on the end goal, and as a result, the path of the next step will reveal itself, and then you can take action on it. Quick example, could you have exactly predicted where you are right now in your life? I mean, the exact friends you have, the business, the people you admired, I don't know, the specific phone, maybe even 5 years ago the phone wasn't even out, if that makes sense. So you have to understand that you can only really take action in the present on your goal and know where you're headed. That's the only thing you can do. If you don't do that, then it's going to be very hard. You're going to try and predict how you can get to your goal, which is never really a good strategy anyway, because you end up wasting a lot of energy and time trying to see how the most optimal path is. But the truth is, no one knows. The only one who knows is like the creator or nature or God or whatever you want to call it. So that's the action, and after you basically take action on this, then you will actually achieve your goal. That's as simple as you can take it. So quick recap, if you want to understand it, planning will not get you to your goal because a goal is just an effect. For that to be an effect, there must be a cause. To get to your goal, there's never just one cause, there's an infinite amount of causes. In order to make this happen, nature always takes the path of least resistance or least energy expenditure. So if you want to achieve your goal, don't plan, follow the most optimal path. You do that by focusing on the end goal and the current step, and then the path reveals itself. You take action on the path and you achieve your goal. Hope that helped. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.